I think it's on. How's everybody doing? We are doing some GIMP drawing today. I hope. Let's see, somebody's gonna say, yeah, everybody's saying hi. We are ready to go. We're cooking. Okay. So, if you hear, let me see here. I'm stupid. I can just mute. Yeah. So I'm drawing a PNN, not a PNN. Sorry, a short. The other thing that we do. So that means that I can draw here. Let me see here. 1920, 1080. Okay. What I'm going to be doing is a little bit of editing magic, in the sense that I'm going to be, I hope that goes in the middle. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. Also, while you all are here, let me know what you think about the way that I have this set up. You can't see any of the, what is it? Like the tools, right? Like this part, I don't have showing on screen. I don't think that it's really necessary. There's a fly. But let me know if you think it is. I can do that. And I think that Conrad is here. Conrad is a mod on the Discord. So if you need anything from me desperately, Conrad, you can go ahead and ping me. And I will see that. But I will also be reading chat. You're going to go do a live on your channel at 2 p.m. or something. That's cool, French ball. So this is a comic about Mexico. And so the first thing that I need to do, it's about the new Mexican president. So this pink area is actually, like, if this was a phone screen, that's a full screen. So I've gone a little bit beyond that so that it's possible to pan, basically. So what I want is, I want this to be like lower opacity so that I can barely see it. Okay, so what I want is like a podium, basically. And I want it to be probably more like this. So you just use some line thingies. Yeah, I don't use line tool. Line tool is for cowards. Also, I just don't use line tool. I guess that's it. I mean, I do sometimes, but not right now, because I like it to look a little bit janky. You know what I mean? That's not the same. I do use line smoothing, though. I am a line smoothing evangelical. That's about right. Okay, so we have this, and I know it's fun drawing a place for people to stand. I say people, but country ball. You know what I mean. Feels unnatural on some. He said balls. Yeah, copy and pasting is fine. I don't have a, well, I say I don't have a problem with it. I've taken a lot of comics down for copy and pasting in my time. But that's because you can go too far with it. Basically, if I look at your comic and I think I would have gone through the effort to draw that, I'm probably gonna, like, I'm probably gonna hit you with a removal, basically. So how do podiums work? They sort of go like this, I guess. Yeah. And then what we want is a nice round Mexico right here. Okay. Maybe a little bit taller. A key with country balls is that you've really got to make sure that you're not like, at least this is something that I've struggled with. That looks like, that doesn't look right. Struggle with making it make sense that it is a ball, right? Because if you think about it, if they were if balls evolved, I know this is stupid, but if balls evolved, they wouldn't have the same stuff as we do, especially like doors, right? And they don't really have hands. I imagine them as being like sort of mildly telekinetic. That's sort of how I imagine country balls functioning. But, you know, to each their own. How do you all think about that? Like, how do they hold things? I think it's telekinetic. Thank you. Is queso shaped like a Ferris wheel? No. Yeah. I like to think of desert barn doors. I made a comic. Let me see if I can open this. One of my really old comics. I should be able to have it. What's it called? I don't have very many comics compared to like Aaron. Aaron has thousands of comics. But I've done like maybe 20 or something. What is it called? It's called The Best Laid Plans. So it might just be called Best Laid Plans. Is this in reverse alphabetical order? I think that this is the comic. I think I named it close to the borderline. Oh no, this is an example of so here's something that really bothers me. This is what you should like look like. This is what your country ball should look like, right? If you're drawing, that's what it should look like, not this, right? See how this is coloring outside of the lines, right? That I hate this. I despise it. It's not against the rules technically. If you do it like this egregiously that it completely goes over, then I will like be really upset. But yeah, don't do that. Please. Let me see here. What is it called? I named it something else. Oh, I named it like World War G. I think. I'm pretty sure. Man, why can't I find that? Let me just open up File Explorer because it's either called World War Z or the Best Laid Plans of Mice and Men. Let me show you. This is all just because I want to show you doors that I made. World War. Okay, never mind. I don't have it. No problem. We'll go back to drawing. So anyway, I had a comic where I had like round doors. Basically, that's the whole point that I was trying to get at. Yeah. So that's fun. Okay, so this is a banner. I guess this needs to be, yeah, this needs to be like basically as big as the stage, more or less. So it's gonna have to come out of here a little bit. That's fine. And that's where you can use line tool. It's just doing stuff like Sorry that this is maybe not the most enjoyable. I mean, I won't apologize. It's fine. This is plenty enjoyable. You get to see a master at work. Used to play Chinese music, and holy, don't play the suona or any wind instrument in the orchestra, because you're forced to next sit. Gate man, why is California so hated? Is it? I don't think it's hated. I mean, there's people like anybody who's like, oh, I hate California. That just means that they like hate Californians, because California's beautiful. What could you have against California, right? Like naturally, it's beautiful. You know, as a state, it's fine. What's wrong with California? Keep an eye on Leon, whatever. Yeah, calling it right guy. Okay, so next I got to draw the Mexican flag, and this is gonna be fun. You get to see how to draw the Mexican flag, which is not easy, mind you. It's one of the like more recognizable flags that has like very intricate detail, if not like the most recognizable. But okay. I am just going to have 2 because I want to size it. But that's a good flag, don't you think? Mexican flag. Let's see. Drew Durnal. I do not like Drew Durnal. So first things first, got to position the Mexican flag to be roughly in the right spot. Basically sizing it for sizing the seal. Okay. And with this, with the Mexican flag, well, here. First, I will do the sidebars, I guess. So, first things first, you can actually, when you're doing these flags, one thing that will be helpful is, like, don't worry about the proportions, especially when you're working in sort of 3D. Don't like so here's another thing. Some people draw country balls as if they are 2-dimensional, sort of like the flag on a circle, right? And that's sort of the entry level. If you made like an iceberg of Polandball drawing, like drawing them as a circle is going to be the top level. And then slightly further down is drawing them as if they are a 3-dimensional object. And I always like drawing them as 3-dimensional, basically. I don't know what the gritty is. Is it like, is that the gritty? Am I, oh shit, I almost fell. And that's like the limit of my athletic ability. Speaking of which, look at this absolute unit. See that? He's meowing because he wants out, because he knows there is food downstairs. Here's GateNerd. Can we get some cat nerds in the chat? We'll get a channel emote for GateNerd eventually. Right? Okay, come on. You want it out. So, yeah. We gotta hang out. Yeah. Yeah, he's a tuxedo. Yeah, thank you everybody for the cat nerds in chat. Let's get back to drawing Mexico. What do you say? What do you say we draw some Mexico? Okay. So, this is the extent of like my copy pasting, basically. Not copy pasting. Like my ability to draw flags. So, you start from the bottom on the Mexican flag. There's a few elements to get like for sure. And just use like colors that you can easily differentiate. Okay. And you want to get the shape, the general shape and location of things correct. Okay. You don't have to be perfect like at all, right? But you want to get the cactus fruit. And one key I would say is like keep the idea. See how I'm adding a cactus fruit where there isn't one on the actual flag? That does two things. One, it like a medium amount of inspection, people will be like, oh, they must not have traced it because there's details on here that aren't on the flag. That's important. The second is that sometimes it just balances it out if you're excluding other details to add details somewhere else. So there's a tip for you. And then I'm gonna need like a light blue. Okay, and then you do like this thing, and don't even like fret over this, whatever this thing is, right? And the amount of detail that you put into a flag completely depends on what scale it's going to be viewed at. If something is far away, like obviously you're going to need you're going to have less room, so you don't have to be that detailed. But yeah. Another tip, just on the Mexican flag, if you never noticed, is these right here. These are a really nice part of the flag, I think. It's like one of my favorite parts of the flag, because they are the same color as the outside. So it's like you get a little bit of the red and green from the outside right in the middle of the flag. So I would say that as far as details go, a lot of the stuff on the Mexican flag is not necessary. And I will show you what I mean right now, actually, because all of these don't even bother with like the plant details. Just kind of get the shape of the leaves. The other benefit is that it's going to make the sides look even, because this side has a lot less detail than the other side. They are different plants, but it's all about making things like look good in a pixelated, sloppily drawn format. And in my experience, it just looks better if they're balanced. If you go into too much detail on one part, you're gonna trap yourself into getting into too much detail everywhere. So there's a tip for you. The next thing is the eagle. So the eagle is interesting because it is more mixed in terms of color, but my tip would be, I'm going to give you some flag drawing tips. I'm sure Kolai has tips that he gives too. He draws fairly similar to me in a lot of regards. I think I do more technical stuff than him. Sometimes, but to be honest, it's pretty similar, our drawing styles. So if he gives you tips, I might be reiterating some of them. If war ever breaks out somewhere, root for the side, the inhabitants of Diego Garcia, Bovet Island, Bouvet Island, and La de Corzet. I will take your word for it. Okay, so the eagle has got like a lot of details on the Mexican flag, and you kind of just want to get the vibe. Okay, overdoing details in one part can be fun. I understand this, but you've got to understand this is something that people like kind of miss, and including myself. And this is just general advice, I would say. But if you're doing a lot of detail in one thing, you're going to get dragged into adding the same amount of detail somewhere else. You can totally be very selective with your detail in terms of like foreground should be more detailed, obviously, and like focal areas, drawing your eye with detail. That's like an important aspect of drawing. But right now, we're really just talking about drawing funny ball comics. And what I'm really talking about isn't really as far, doesn't really go beyond like within an individual flag. And also, another important tip is figure out what details you can get away with not including or not being accurate with. So the US flag, for example, has 13 stripes. It has 7 red stripes and it has 6 white stripes, right? Nobody's going to count that. Just get it like pretty close. Just, you know, try, but if you come out with like 5 red flags and only a handful of white ones, like 5 and 5, something like that, that's fine. Just go with it. It's totally fine. So that is how to draw the Mexican flag. And you see, even with the colors all wonky, it still looks about right, I would say. There are some areas that need to be touched up, and it's easier to do this with contrasting colors. There's also a couple of things that I'm not done with yet. But yeah, that's about it when it comes to the Mexican flag. This eye is a little bit not right. So I'm sure other people do it differently, but I would say that drawing in like contrasting colors or like colors that you can tell the difference is preferable. Oh, is Kolai here? What's up, Kolai? He's lurking. That's preferable because he draws very well. I'm sure some of you draw very well, but I don't feel intimidated by you. I'm just kidding. I'm not intimidated by Kolai. He's a nice fellow. Okay, so now I'm just changing the colors to be accurate. I got this one about right. And also just like get the predominant color, because you'll notice that there's like detail that I'm missing in terms of shading. I don't do shading, right? Oh, here is actually an example of where I am going to do a little bit of shading. So if you do this on these, that actually makes them look a lot nicer. And also go ahead and do one above and one below. Doesn't matter which is which. Let's see. What colors do I need next? Need the snake. And need the eagle. I'm going to use 2 colors for the eagle. That's usually all that I use. I've done more than that before. But you see, that's about right. And then the snake, or not the snake, the talon, or the you just add a few claws. Actually, that claw probably goes behind the cactus. You can do that. add fangs on the snake. And then you'll notice the snake has a bunch of different colors. Again, just be selective with how many colors you use for these things. And don't worry about like the location of things. Like you see how that already looks like pretty decent. Like you can tell that's the Mexican flag, right? That's all that you want. Well, it's not all you want. You want it to look nice, but you know, just do some shading and there you go. That's the Mexican flag. You can add a little bit of like dimension to the box, something like that. Yeah. So there's Mexico. Let's see. Kind of want to do the green a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more that way. So, this is depicting the newly sworn in Mexican president. So I want to look up her slogan. Her slogan appears to be, "It's Claudia." Claudia. Her name is Claudia, but I'm not going to do that. So, what we're going to do instead is use a different presidential campaign slogan. I just got to look something up so that I'm not stupid. Okay, I was right. Okay, so let me go ahead and write this out so I don't run out of room. If anybody speaks Spanish in here, is that "yes, they can" in Spanish? I'm just guessing here. Because Obama's slogan was si se puedes, which is "yes, we can." In Spanish. His English slogan was "yes, we can." But I think "si te puedes" is "yes, you can," which I think is funny. So I'm going to do that, even though that's not her. Obama also had hope, but he had "yes, we can," right? That was his like 2008. I think he had one time and the other one the other time. I think. Si te puedes. How do you say "yes, they can"? You're right. Si te puedes. Okay. Si te pueden. There we go. So it's pueden. This is just a dumb joke for me. You all in chat will know what the joke is when you see it. It's not even a joke. It's just like a reference, and then like, I don't know. In my head, it's something like speaks to just like the political global climate that we're in today. That nobody's going to admit that they can do anything. They're just going to say somebody else can. You know, nobody wants to take responsibility, especially politically. I don't know anything about Claudia. She might be totally great, but even if she's the Obama of her generation of Mexicans, she's not going to do much. No offense to Obama. Like the guy. Voted for him once. I was too young the first time. Also, I never write in lowercase, so this probably doesn't look very good. I think it looks okay. I've done a lot of bubble letters in my time making Polandball comics. Just because I always find myself wanting to make signs for really no reason. Other than like I like. So I had this theory when making Polandball comics, like originally. So when I first found this, like Aaron and Dick Rhino and Coli, they were all like well established, right? I came along like much later. But I had this like idea of joke density, and I was like obsessed with joke density, and that I wanted my comics to have as many jokes as possible in them, like in every panel. I didn't care if people ever noticed the jokes, and there are jokes that I put in my comics back then that people never got, partially because my comics were awful, and partially because the jokes were awful. But I did always enjoy doing that. Anyway, there's your lesson. But like a joke in the background like this, I would consider this increasing joke density. What does this reference? Could you review my art? Yeah, sure. Did you put it in comics and art? Yes, somebody pinged me. Yeah, it's not Conrad saying that, but I'm going to do Conrad's first. Say review. Let's get some real critiquing in here. Tell Conrad how awful they are. Okay, so this is actually really good, I will say. I really like the shading. This is really good, Conrad. The eyes are really good. You're using like the squiggly lines or like the lines around it, around the eyes. That's once you get into that, you're doing really good with eyes, right? Yeah, I like it. Good like stitches up here, I guess. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's got to be stitches, staples maybe. Yeah, very good, excellent. I don't know what this flag is though. Yeah, awesome. Let me see here. Somebody ping me in Streaming Hub. Let me see here. Anvitha. Oh, Anvitha's great. Anvitha made some excellent art in the contest that I reviewed. Oh. I didn't copy the right image. So let me do this again. It's big. File, create from clipboard. Now we can open the whole thing. This is really good. This is like an environmentalism poster, I would assume, or not environmentalism poster, but like a poster for like World Environment Day, celebrating the environment and cherishing what we have. That's very nice. What are these? I'm not sure, but the background, I remember this from your Bhutan contest entry. You're really good at landscape. This is really good. Yeah, I also don't know what flag this is. No, it's not a country. I mean, the hat is German or Swiss, so I assume it's like a canton or something. Yes, I will review your art. I'm getting to it. Let me see here. What's your username? 7 accounts banned official. Can you please just respond what your Discord username is? I assume that you sent it here in the Discord. But yeah, Anvitha and Conrad, both really good pieces. Yeah, excellent. Let's see. at 7accounts band. Where'd you send it? You're gonna make me search? Okay, there it is. I found it. Here we go. This is from 7accounts band. Hopefully you'll stop spamming, but can you use potty humor in Polandball comics? Yeah, of course. It appears to be Napoleon being piloted by the whole Y420 with the Pope, Papal States. Very cool. Here lies Leon, something to 2024. But I think I recognize this image of Napoleon. This is pretty cool. I like this. I don't know how you drew this. I think you might have used like a filter or something on it and then done some outlines, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. Very cool. Good art all around, everybody. 7accounts band and Vitha and Conrad. There's Conrad's. One last glimpse. Also, I didn't think I mentioned like the shading specifically around the eyes. I like that. That's really good. Okay, so now back to my little ditty. Okay, so when I think of podiums, I always think of the exact same podium. Or I always draw the same podium. Like, it's as basic as can be. I like podiums too. I like country balls speaking to crowds. Can't believe I'm erasing a leg and then going back. What is that referencing? Okay. Si te pueden is yes, they can in Spanish. Barack Obama's campaign slogan in 2012, maybe, was yes, we can. Si se puedes in Spanish. And there were a lot of si se puede shirts because he was trying to get out the Latino vote. And I just think it's funny if instead of a yes, we can, there's the much more distanced and less impressive yes, they can. It's quite funny. In my head. These are jokes that are only for me. By the way. So next thing is we need some foreground. So you gotta do like perspective type stuff, right? And then these are all going to be, I guess, Mexicans for the most part. But, I mean, maybe not all of them. Maybe stick in a couple Hondurans or something. Maybe an American or so. An American or one or two. Probably it'll just be Mexicans, because their flag is easy to draw in this instance. And just kind of drawing crowds is always fun. I say that sarcastically. It's fun if they're easy to draw. In this case, they are going to be mostly easy to draw. I'm going to leave an empty spot. If you've ever been to a political rally, I don't know, have any of you been to political rallies? Audience here skews kind of young, so you might not have. I've never actually been to a rally proper. I'm not the kind of person to do that. But I did see President Obama speak once. Okay, and filled in all of those. And now, for the fun part, drawing all of these. And because they're turned around, so there's a couple of ways that people interpret country balls, right? The first is that they are like, I mean, I say this is like unspoken, right? I've never heard somebody talk about this, but everybody who draws country balls, at least like enough, will understand what I'm saying here. So there's two ideas. The first is that the country ball is like a hemisphere for the flag, right? So the flag is basically stretched to cover one hemisphere, and then the flag, there's a second flag that then drapes the back hemisphere, right? So the eyes are in the front, and then the back, right, will be two separate flags. In that case, the Mexican flag would be the same from the back as it is from the front, right? It would have the seal. It would have the seal on the back, okay? There's also two ways to interpret that, and that is that the flag on the back side is flipped 180 degrees, like it's flipped horizontally, so it would be backwards. The other way to interpret it, and this is the way that I'm interpreting, see it, Conrad, is that any patterns continue across the ball, right? But any images do not. Okay? This is interesting because it means that for the Mexican flag, for example, from the back, the red and the green are inverted and there's no seal, right? The Italian flag is also backwards, but then you've got flags like the United States. What does it look like backwards, right? That's kind of, it's kind of confusing. I can get into this at some point in the future. I can make a 3D model of what I think it should look like, but needless to say, this is what I think the Mexican flag, if it were a country ball, should look like from the back. Yeah, Manny to the Max asked, GateNerd, what is your favorite flag and food? My favorite flag, I mean, Mexico's up there. If we're talking about national flags, it's probably Bhutan. I think Bhutan is a great flag, and it's just cool, like outright cool. Let's see, what other ones do I like? As far as like simplistic designs, I've always liked the Vietnamese flag. I think that communist color scheme is good, and Vietnam does it best. What else? That's a good one. You also asked what my favorite food was. It is a dish from China called Chongqing Xiaomian, which is like a spicy noodle dish. Like, yeah, it's a spicy noodle dish from Sichuan province. Well, from Chongqing, which isn't in Sichuan province, but they have similar stuff in Sichuan province. But it's called Chongqing Xiaomian, like little Chongqing noodles is what it means in Chinese. But it's really good. I recommend it if you like spicy food. If you don't like spicy food, it will be awful. Flavorful until your mouth just goes numb and you can't taste anything anymore for like a day. Good luck. Finish on oil. Something. Nah, Manny's cool. Don't kidnap Manny. I saw Manny, I think, donating to Dick Rhino the other day during a Dick Rhino stream. So, what? Oh. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't use the bucket tool. I was using the bucket tool on an already red pixel, like the only red pixel in the whole thing. So all these Mexican, I don't know. Sometimes country balls represent people. In this case, they would represent people because how could there be so many Mexican country balls? Like, if I weren't lazy, maybe I'd put Mexican states or something, but I am lazy. This is an example of limit your detail to where it's important, right? That's the other thing. If I made all of these, like, I don't know, like super detailed and like a bunch of different countries, it would only serve to the other thing that can heighten your Polandball art or just drawings in general, especially Polandball, I will say, is shadows. They will really boost your artistic like look of things. They're very helpful at that. So learn how to do learn how to do shadows quickly and easily. Like this, as long as I didn't screw up, boom, got shadows. See? Beautiful. Let me see here. I'm just going to merge that down because I don't need that to be the same color anymore. Want to see the number of cultural non-Singaporeans here? Isn't everybody who's not Singaporean a cultural non-Singaporean? That's quite funny to think about. I'll start identifying as a non-Singaporean, culturally non-Singaporean. I'm also in every other regard non-Singaporean, but I am culturally non-Singaporean. Okay. It's a little bit too dark. I also never know, like, what is brown? That's a dumb question, but legitimately, I don't know. Is brown like red? Is brown yellow? Or are there browns for all colors? I don't know. I genuinely don't know what brown is. I don't know anything about colors, like color theory or anything like that. But I can move my cursor around. Oh, you can't see it, but I'm like moving. I'm like changing the color on the color palette like rapidly. I think brown is like dark orange or something. I don't know. Has somebody said it yet? Red brown is maroon. Brown is darker orange. Yeah, that makes sense. Speaking of darker orange, I need some gold. I'm just kidding. Gold is not dark orange, is it? It's yellow. Okay, so let's do Los Estados Unidos I'm not going to look up their official name. I'm just going to guess. I assume that it's Los Estados Unidos Mexicano, but it might be Los Estados Unidos de Mexico. It's either Mexicano or de Mexico. And one of them is right and one of them is wrong, but I'm not going to check. I also don't know what their seal is. So here's a fun one I'm just going to do. Here's how you draw the Mexican flag. Tools, Windows. I close my tool options? I need like a darker. I do need a darker gold, but I'm just going to use one. This is annoying. I knew that I should have used a second color, but now I gotta do this. And what we're gonna do here is, I don't know, what does a Spanish flag gonna look like? I know they had one that looked like this, and that's what I'm going to draw. We're going to draw this like very anachronistic Spanish flag, but whatever. I'll make up for it by giving Mexico like a gun, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, see? And that is how you make up a Mexican seal. And see, this is what I was talking, those of you who have been here the whole time, this is joke density. This is my patented concept of joke density. Like, this is a dumb joke that is just like in the background. And you know what? Just add a cactus, because why not? Yeah, screw it. Whatever. That's a fine cactus. And then add some needles. Why not? See? That's like barely noticeable. It's literally not going to be viewable. This is a short, but I think that it's fun. You know, just be creative. If you have a dumb idea, you know, it's supposed to be fun, isn't it? So the first thing is going to be, I'm going to do here is draw some eyes. Also need like a darker shade of brown. There. Can you set me for, I don't know. All the Michigan Reich, Toledo and war. Toledo or war. Yeah, Toledo War's fun. Let's see. Okay, now I'm gonna do eyes. Eyes is gonna be about a 5 width. Okay, and I guess I'll need to do this, need to do a shadow. I would not recommend doing shadows this way because you will mess up 1,000 times while you learn to do it. Just do it the way I normally do it, but I've put enough work in that I know how to do it. Okay. So there's that. This is one panel. Let's see. We need we need like, what is it? This should be like maybe a lighter. Mexico's got to be represented as sandy, right? That's got to be true. That seems about fine. And then, you know, let's just put a cactus over here. I mean absolutely no disrespect to Mexico for depicting it as a desert. It's just funnier, you know, and that's kind of how it comes to. Like, it's recognizable as Mexico. Who knows? Maybe I'll even put a sepia filter on this whole thing. You know, Mexico is actually a very like, what is it? Agriculturally productive region. Like, of course, it has its areas that are desert, just like the United States. But talking about central Mexico, you're talking about like some of the most agriculturally productive land in human history. But you know, they got Chihuahua and what else? It's like desert, like Baja California. That's all desert for the most part. And just add a little rubble underneath the cactus, whatever. Yeah, I love Country Balls facts. The assistant head chef at the Royal Bakery. Let's see here. See if anybody else has pinged me. Might be somebody else wants my art reviewed. French Ball. Are you still here, French Ball? I think so. Conrad shared your image with me, so let's take a look. French Ball. Let me put this on top. We got Estonia with the Estonian flag in the background in the landscape, because the Estonian flag is sky, the sort of black forests of Estonia, and then snow. And that's what we got here. Really good. This is really nice. You drew this on the bus? Yeah, it's very cool. I don't know what the holes are meant to represent. Ice fishing, maybe? But nonetheless, very cool. Great art. Let's see. Somebody else has pinged me, apparently. I see no ping. Okay, so next thing is to give like a light bluish sky. And that seems fine, actually. Maybe a little bit brighter. Yeah, a little bit brighter, and then I'll do like a little bit brighter up here. Actually, that's gonna, it's gonna be a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so there's a shot. And I think that I have enough time to draw one more. So 1 second, I have got to make some layer groups. So this will be stage. I got to do some of this. There is a fly buzzing around my head. Okay, so I need a new layer group. No, not that. New layer group. They are all Mexican. Yeah, it's a Mexican political rally. Hence all the Mexicans. Okay, so we go ahead and get rid of that. So what needs to be done here, the pink area is merely for like knowing what to draw. Okay. Like what area is within the frame of a short, right? So what we need is probably, I'm trying to think here. Let's go ahead and do this. Needs to be a little, how about I just position the flag where I want it? There. That's where I want it. And there we go. Okay. And now let me see here. Now I need to take this and that goes down here. Okay, 8,005. GateNerd, you posted a comic in Comics and Art. Let's review that. Who said that? I'm seeing a couple of people. First off, we're gonna show Jacob's art, which is, you know, just brilliant. Really top tier. Really top tier art. Like, this is Van Gogh level country ball stuff. Let's be real here. We have Skibbity, Michigan. we have Skibbity, Michigan right here. Yeah, I mean, just no notes. This is perfect. Good job, Jacob. Jacob draws good stuff. This is not the first time Jacob has made me very impressed with his art. Let's see. So this is Pyro Does Gaming. Made a comic. So let's go through this. I don't do good voices, but we'll see here. So whoosh, really great. I won't stop like all the time through this, but I will say great bubble letters. Pyro. Okay, so we have here, balloon do the flying to worst Korea. Am the sure no consequence due to best Korea. What is? K. To the playing's game worst Korea. Oh, it's gone. Oh God, I've colored on. Okay. Many hours later, what shit day? Oh, it's not fully visible on the screen. There we go. Yeah, that's a good comic. This is not the first comic I've seen about this, but this is a good one. This is really good. Yeah, for sure. Good joke. Korea launched some balloons with K-pop or something. They launched balloons with something. I have no idea. I've seen too many comics to know what was actually in the balloons. But the North Koreans responded by sending balloons filled with poop, or carrying poop. I think is more accurate, but good stuff. Let's see. If you're gonna send art, send it in either the streaming or the comics and art channel in the future. I'm not saying like I'm mad or anything, but it is easier to find because the chat's slower. So I'm making effing mac and cheese, and nobody can stop me. Oh, I can't fit this all in one. I don't know what the flag is. I assume that's your own personal one, but this is good. I like the art. It's like pixel art, basically. Jacob, yeah, feel free to clip it. You do have good art. I mean, it's good. It's good. I've never seen a cube that is as tall as this, like compared to the width. But I like to imagine that there is some sort of flushing suction force elongating it. But you know, I'm not gonna nitpick. It is funny. And any skibbity toilet is gonna be pretty funny to me. Okay, so we gotta do this close-up panel. Let me see here. Gotta get rid of some of these. See if I can finish this. Okay, first off, I'm gonna do the green and red, which I just kept messing up getting the colors. That's annoying. Okay, so what I want, because most of the ball is off screen, want to get like decent curve, but still like show that it is going to still keep curving down. Okay, I will get this. I will. That's right. That's right. That's good enough. Okay. So now what I need. So here's an example of. Now I am going to be having to redraw the Mexican flag because the first time it didn't have enough detail. Okay. But that's okay, because it gives us an opportunity to talk about how to draw higher detail with my like patented tracing method. The same rules apply that I talked about earlier. Right, but it's more important to follow shape than it is, or like exterior shape, than it is like internal shape. I guess if that, well, maybe that's not even true. I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. But I will try and articulate my thoughts. As we go through. So you'll see that for these I'm like kind of getting the general squiggliness of these leaves, but I'm not like following the exact squiggles of the leaves. And that just makes it look more like drawn, essentially. And with this one, I'm going to go ahead and get the shading right on the leaves internally. So with these ones, it's basically split 50-50. With these ones, it's not split 50-50, which is unfortunate because that's just detail that then has to be added in by hand. You can also, like, I don't know. Drawing detailed flags is a can of worms. I don't recommend it. I'm having to do this because of the increased resolution. This isn't 1080p, right? So this flag is going to be bigger than I would ever recommend you draw in a comic. So you wouldn't really ever have to do this. I have drawn flags this detailed before, but really only for videos. For comics, you don't have to by any means. And like, as we've seen with like art that people make, you can make really good art with not very many pixels, right? The canvas size can be small, and that's not like limiting in terms of like how good something can be. It's only limiting in terms of how many pixels you have. Like it's as simple as that, effectively. And so like with this, for example, I'm not getting these internal color gradients. Like these, you can see what I'm talking about. These little triangular bits, I'm not caring about that. I am just caring about like it's half and half. And apparently it's half on the top except for this one, and then it's half on the bottom. Whatever. But yeah. So this one, I think that these details are interesting enough that I will add them. And they're not that complicated. Make sure that you, when you are drawing with like colors like this, the way that I always work it is that when I go to fill it in, I fill it in with the selection tool that allows you to select everything that is a specific color. And so when you do that, it's important to like have different colors. I know that sounds stupid, but don't use this green again, because when you select all colors, they might represent different colors. That's all that I'll say. Okay. And now we gotta do this. This is like a prickly pear cactus or something. It's not growing like a prickly pear, but it looks like a prickly pear. So maybe it's not a prickly pear. I don't know. I'm not a botanist. I'm not a botanist. And then just go ahead and just keep in mind like what colors or what details are important and what details will come out in your finished piece. Why do I redraw? Because this is bigger. This is like 3 times as big. So the amount, I can't just blow it up. I would, but I can't. So, what am I going to draw this with? Green, yellow. I need something that stands out against brown. I guess bright-ish red. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is actually just go ahead and draw all of the lighter areas. Everything that I think needs to be lighter. And that's, yeah. And also, this is going to be 3 colors. I can already tell. It's going to need to be 3 in order to make this actually look decent. You don't have to get all the details. I've said this so many times, but it's not like the easiest thing in the world to copy. It's just easier than the alternative, which is drawing things originally. And that's what you got to do, because you can make it difficult. Just don't. When you go into something, be selective with your amount of effort. There's diminishing returns, right? Unless you just want to see how good you can do something, in which case go for it. There's some life advice for you. Yeah, just don't put in more effort than you need to, unless you want to. But, you know, remember, you don't have to. Be selective. Okay, this is a lot of detail. This is more detail than I've ever drawn on the Mexican flag, and I'm positive of that. But I do like it. Oh, actually, I need to do this. Select, move holes. Okay, just removing the holes so that, because I know that I want there not to be like any dithering or anything. Okay. Now I'm going to do the dark bits, and this shouldn't be too bad. Let's see, there's a Nimcy here. Nimcy is Germany and Polish. That's not dark. I'm pretty sure. I don't know any Polish, but that's okay, because you know there's enough Poles in the world. It's not a dying language. Can you imagine if Polish was a dying language? My God. People would be in the streets celebrating. Get it? It's a joke at Poland's expense. We could finally get all of our consonants back. Let's see here. Let's see, what is chat saying? GateNerd is on drugs right now? Nah. I'm legitimately not, but I apologize if I'm grading. for some reason. Okay. Hey GateNerd, I don't really like doing it, but I pinged you in some art. You might be able to show on stream. I could do that. I don't. Yes, I see it. I might see it. Oh, Sunny. Sorry, I'm going through my pings like accurately, or like in the order in which I've seen them. But Sunny made this, and this is fantastic. Look at this. Yeah, that's amazing. Great work, Sunny. That is astoundingly good. Yeah. It's like China eating a bowl of noodles, I suppose. Yeah, it's very cool. There's a the character in Chinese with the most strokes is a type of noodle, and I think it's one really long noodle. So I'm wondering if this is a reference to that, because it's one super long noodle. But yeah, that's fantastic. I'll leave it up there while I go through my other pings. Okay. Should just be one more. I don't see CHCH. I don't see a ping from you. I found what I assume you're talking about, but this looks like the little dude from Hollow Knight. I really like that. That's very cool. If this is what you're talking about, nice. I like it. Yeah, it's very cute. It looks like, is chibi the right word? Regardless, it's very cool. Okay, let's finish this up, because I'm going to have to log off here in a bit. Gotta go ahead and do this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, great art, Sonny. I don't know if you post to Polandball art. I think you do. I think there's a bunch of people on here that do. I think Anvitha does as well. But, like, I don't know if that one would be allowed on the sub, only for the reason that I think you use some sort of filter or like texture tool or something, and I think that might count as advanced tools. But I really wouldn't be able to tell you. But it is really good. And they do have more like leniency for advanced tools on the art, the Polandball art subreddit. For sure. So maybe it's not even a problem. Okay. That's about it on the black. I do need a little bit more red, specifically here. Yeah, I'm not like a good artist by any means. I like have made some, I think, good drawings, some good Polandball drawings in my time, but there are people who are like professionally really good, like professional levels, and I'm not anywhere near that. I'm like a tier or 3 below that. So let me go ahead. So now you get to see the method to my madness. See, it doesn't look like much yet. I think of art as being very mathematical, at least in the way that I do it. And I know that sounds stupid, but if you talk about like combinatrix or like sets or something like that, that's what I'm always thinking about, is like clever ways of like avoiding. Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to select. No. Okay. Maybe I didn't do that as well as I thought I did. Okay. I did. I was just thinking about it wrong. It's like a logic puzzle. Like, what can you select and then remove from a selection in order to get the desired outcome? And in this case, it was that. So I need a dark brown. Let's do the color. And I need like a light brown. This is the dark. This is the light. No, yeah, this is the light. And I need a medium. Let's go ahead and do that. And see, look, we did a bird. How about that? We'll go ahead and do black here, and light here. And so that's how you do the outline of the bird, right? You're saying an army. Abraham Lincoln sending an army. My goodness. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to be done. But you will be seeing this short that this is from, that I haven't even told you the joke of. You will see this short in not too long. I'm involved, so it will take longer than a normal short. I will say that. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm gonna finish sort of drawing this though. I don't actually know what shorts we have lined up in the near future, but we got some really cool stuff that's going to be coming out on the channel here in the next month. I think it's easy to say month in this case. But yeah, stay tuned. You all kind of show up to these live streams. At least a lot of you are regulars. If you're new here, welcome. But to all the regulars, you know that the wait is worth it, I guess. Yeah, the wait's worth it. with stuff on this channel. It's always good, I think. I am going to go ahead and draw the snake as well. But yeah, make sure that you're subscribed. Smash that subscribe button. And what else can I ask you to do? Just go watch videos. Listen to the podcast if you haven't listened to the podcast yet. We have a few episodes out. It's very good. It's a good podcast. We talk about Polandball. We talk about tons of stuff on it. Maybe we'll have a new episode out soon. It gets like a medium well reception, I guess. But this needs to be yet another color of green. And we need a rattle. And there you have it. So I'm not going to finish coloring this in, but it was a fun stream. I will talk to you all later, or you can message me in the Discord. Sorry if I didn't get to your art. I think I got everybody's, though. Yeah, had a fun stream, and I'll see you next time. Well, I can't figure out how to leave the stream. Yeah, see ya.